Hello, and welcome to Hobbycraft, where we turn imaginations into reality and always have fun. I am Naveen. Today, I am going to show you how did I convert a plastic water gun into a more realistic looking handgun for a costume. Uh, you can look at this. The plastic gun that we started with, you can see that it's pretty much a gun to start with. There is really not much you have to do to make it look like a real gun, because real guns are not like pink, purple, yellow. They're more like gray, black, and have brown handles and things like that. So what that really means is that there are a few things that you're going to have to get rid of from this plastic gun. Two things that you can really see is, one is the front part of it, the orange looking nozzle. The rear guns have a little cylindrical bore at the front, and then then these water guns at the back have a little protrusion for the intake of the water. So what we're going to do, that means we're going to have to get rid of those parts. When I looked at this, the front nozzle part of it, my initial impression was that it is just screwed on. That means I could just kind of unscrew it. When I tried, that didn't work very well. So the next only obvious choice was that I'm going to have to cut it off. So let's get started. If you are into hobbycraft, you probably already own some kind of a rotary tool. If you don't, I'll strongly recommend that you buy one. I use Dremel 4300 these days. This is something that I bought about a year ago. Before that, I was just using the earlier version. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. So now you can see we're gonna start cutting these the parts from this plastic gun. As usual, safety first. Make sure that you are wearing safety glasses because we will be cutting the plastic pieces. There are going to be shards that are going to be little flying around. So few things: wear safety glasses, and I will strongly recommend put a cloth sheet under it, or a big paper sheet, because these shards, when you are cutting the plastic, you definitely want to pick up the shards after it. So as you can see, we are cutting these pieces. There are one additional thing that happens when you cut these pieces is that it makes the surface slightly rougher after cutting, and that's a good thing, because gluing something on plastic is not that easy. That means either you're going to have to sand it, but cutting is going to do that for you anyways. So what we have done, we have cut it off. Next part is going to be that I'm going to take a 2mm EVA foam sheet, cut a small piece, put it from where I cut the plastic pieces, so I can cover it. Same thing you will do on the front as well as at the back. The next is, now that we have cut it off, we have closed that hole that was created on both places. Next thing is for the front piece. Now what you are going to need is to create a little barrel. So what I will do is, I took my 4mm EVA foam sheet, created a small cylinder, and then glued it with barge. glued it to the front, then cut a little rectangular piece for the back, glued it to the back. Since I was creating a costume gun, which was for a Black Widow dress, so I needed to put a Insignia for Black Widow. So what I did is, so I cut a little rectangular piece of 2mm EVA foam, glued it on the middle itself, and once it is glued, created that Black Widow's insignia, glued it to that piece itself, and now you can see that the gun is pretty much ready in its raw form. Next thing is, now we're just gonna have to paint it. You can see what I use is, first I use the plasti dip. I use it to give a little shine to when I paint. So did a little coat of plasti dip on it. Once it is dry, then use the spray paint. I use black because that's what I needed for this costume. You can pick any color you want. I use that, paint it, let it dry for 24 hours, 48 hours. It does take a little while for this to dry, and there you are. You have your guns ready for your costume. That's all you need to convert these plastic guns into a more realistic looking costume guns. That's all. I hope you found it useful, and till next time, stay healthy. Bye bye.